Hi there folks, welcome back to RRTV's, sorry about that folks. Hi there folks, welcome back to RRTV's mid-race update of the Selby Endurance Sports Car Championship, coming to you live once again from the Nurburgring. And back in the comm booth with me is Scott Nolan. Hi Scott, we're back for a bit of a half-hour update for the viewers.
Yeah, g'day Bernie, g'day everyone. Yeah, a bit of an update here as we've got just halfway through this race, so 4 hours to go, or 3 minutes and 3 hours 57 minutes remaining in this race. So yeah, let's give them an update.
Yeah, so if we have a look at our outright leader at the moment, we'll go through each class folks and then we'll talk about some retirements. So find, where is it? Oh man, got to calm down. Okay, so as you predicted Scott, Fusion Sim Racing, the 145's out in the lead at the moment. They've got 30 seconds lead, and we can see Josh Burden's back in that car. Running in second is TD Racing, the 137, Aaron Osborne, and he's in the car at the moment, 29.2 seconds down. So TD Racing doing a fantastic job out there at the moment. Then fourth place we have the Redback Racing Team Red. David Baxter's in that car, and sitting in third, 60 seconds down from the lead, and then 4 seconds behind them is Aaron Lee in the Redback Racing Team Black. And then 4 laps down now is the Team VPR. So they're sitting in fifth, but 4 laps down. And Luke Beck's driving that. So as far as Class A goes, Scott, we've still got 4 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's right, and that's very good. Redback Racing still holding in there in third, but TDR very much punching above its weight there, holding out second overall, and they're a good little team, so they'll be got a podium last round in Twin Ring, so they'll be loving being up there and be looking to challenge Fusion as this race moves forward.
Yeah, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that and see if they can do that. So looking in 6 is Samuel Doak, I think it is, for LMTI. They are 5 laps down. And then the first of Class B, Matt Morris, is in the car at the moment. Proforce Racing Ferrari is still in the lead there. They pretty much were in the lead when we left some couple of hours ago, probably 3 hours ago, and they're still out there. But on the lead lap though is Luke Swinkles for Arm Racing. So the Arm Racing car, they have not faded yet, halfway point, so it's looking good so far for them. Then 1 lap down in Class B is TD Racing. Darren Connors is now in that car. We saw Tim Ballinger start in that, so looks like Darren's having his run. Then 4th in Class 10 outright is Brett Hender for Lone Wolf Sim Races, so they're still going great guns as well. 5th in Class B and 11th outright is Eric Kaluga for Razorback Races 2, and they are 2 laps down from the lead, so it's still looking pretty competitive though in Class B, Scott.
Yeah, when we did leave, we did have Arm Racing had about a 15-second gap when Justin Ollerton was in the car leading that class. So Matt Morris has moved up past them, and they have faded a little bit. Just looking at their times though, they're still pretty competitive to the Proforce guys. So hanging in there well, but I think pit stop strategy has gone the way of Proforce at the moment, and they have got that lead back from Arm Racing.
Yeah, so we'll see now if Arm Racing fades like we thought they may do as this race goes on. And then we've got in 12th at the moment the 2nd Arm Racing car, Frank Rosenbauer driving that. This car's up 8 positions since the start, so looking they're doing a good job as well. Now there's been a bit of an upset in Class C, or I wouldn't say an upset, but yeah, we'll have a look at this. So at the moment Ross Rizzo is leading in the 385, but from what I understand, the 347 Fusion Sim Racing car that was leading at one point earlier today, but it had a collision with a HPD, which has cost them that lead at the moment, and they're having a look now. I think they may be a lap down on the leader, and Andrew Gaines is driving that car at the moment. As we saw, Trent Thomas was in it earlier today, and that car's looking very second hand. It had a ding in the left side, I think, when we left it, and now it's got a ding in both sides, Scott?
Yeah, so it's still hanging in there on the lead lap, I'm pretty sure. I think it's about a minute and a half down though, so almost 3/4 of a lap down on Ross. So they'll be really trying hard just to stay on that lead lap and see if they can claw back any ground. But you know, once you lose time behind Ross, it's pretty hard to make it back up. But that car has seen a bit of the wars so far in this race. Obviously, yes, as Bernie mentioned, it did have some damage on the left side, and now it looks like they've got more damage. So not sure how they're going in regards to fast repairs, but they may have burned them both already.
Yeah, quite possibly, and if Trent's there, he might be able to fill us in on that. And then their sister car, Scott Stevens, is driving that. This car is that looks like about 4 laps down now from the Proforce Racing entry, so it's looking pretty good for Proforce Racing at the moment, and unless something else unfolds in this class later on today. And the last car out there, Blake Neck's back out there in the Evolution Racing Team car. He was actually the leader in Class B this morning till he parked it, and mainly because it's only him out there driving, and he's out there just to have a bit of fun today.
Yeah, that's right. Interesting to see that with the Fusion cars, they're splitting their drivers a bit more from what we've seen in the past. I'm pretty sure Scott Stevens has been commonly in the 347, so interesting to see that they've done that. Obviously looking for a bit more of an average speed boost across both their cars there.
Yeah, so at the moment it looks like the 347 still in with a shot, but I'm not sure what's happened to the 348. Why it's down a number of laps now.
Yeah, no, obviously something's happened while we've been off air, and it's seen a bit of adversity, but still circulating, and you know, valuable testing and stuff like that for them to do. But also they're only 4 laps down, so if any of those other 2 cars ahead of them has dramas and they need lengthy repairs and they've burned fast repairs, well, you know, they could be back.
Yeah, well, only time's going to really tell, isn't it? So we'll see. But we can see the LMTI car now coming up behind Scott and ducking in on the inside final corner. No, yeah, Scott's given him a lot of room there and allowing that pass to go. And just having a look at our chat at the moment. Yeah, there's no new news in there from Trent there on why the 348 is down a couple of laps, but hopefully we'll get an answer from him soon. Looking at our retirements though, Scott, we've had a couple since we went off air.
Yeah, so it looks like we've lost one of the HPDs, the 120, and that's the Razorback Races with Cohen Adard. I did do some digging and look back at some footage, and it clearly looks like he's parked it. So I haven't seen any incident that he's been involved with. So I'm guessing either he's had some dramas there with his teammates or something, not being able to rock up, and he'd already done you know, a lot of laps at that stage, 88 laps, and it looks like he'd done most of them on his own. So you know, it could be a case of, you know, I've done 88 laps, no one else is coming to help me, I'll be disqualified, so might as well just park it and do something else.
Yeah, enjoy a Sunday afternoon here and put your feet up, I'd say. So yeah, Ryan was in the Extreme Racing 211, folks. That's the second retirement, as Scott was just telling us back then. And as always, folks, if you're joining us from iRacing, we're not on iRacing Live. If you're watching us on Facebook, I hope you're enjoying it. We're also simulcasting today on Twitch TV, and as always, YouTube. So 3 places you can enjoy the telecast for this half-hour update. But looking at for any action out there, I don't think there's a lot.
No, it's all pretty status quo at the moment. I'm just having a look at some of the telemetry to see how we're going in regards to gaps. The leader at the moment, Josh Burden in the 145, he's got a 32-second lead over Aaron Osborne in the 137, and then another 30 seconds back from Aaron is Aaron Lee in the 102. So Class A is pretty much status quo there. I don't see much happening. If you look back at Class B, Arm Racing's 15 seconds behind Matt Morris in the Pro Force Racing Ferrari. So once again, not too much happening there as well.
Yeah, we're just riding with David Baxter now as he's going on the inside of the GTE. We should see him appearing any moment now. There he is on the outside, but it really showed how nimble that HPD is. He tried on the outside, the GTE started wandering out a little bit, so we cut back in on the inside.
Yeah, obviously they've got a clear speed advantage, the HPDs, over the rest of the field. So, you know, as long as the HPD driver is patient, they can sort of pick and choose sort of where they put their car, and you know, most of the time even be able to round the slower cars up on around the outside of a corner. So with that extra downforce gives them that extra speed, and you know, they're pretty nimble cars, so very pointy cars as well, so you can pretty much almost place them anywhere.
Yeah, and we've just had a bit more news on the 348 folks, and from the team. Quite interesting here, they had a wheel failure at the race start. I didn't actually pick that up, and they had to pit that car, and that explains why they've been on the back foot. And then they had some contact later on, and they had to bring that car back in to repair. So that explains why they're down a few laps at the moment. So not really going their way on the 348 today.
No, that's right, and hopefully they can update us on their sister car, the 347, and whether, you know, it's just going to be happy to carry this damage, or whether it, you know, has it burned all its fast repairs, and whether they feel like they've got the speed to catch that Pro Force Racing Mercedes in front of them.
Yeah, we'll see if they'll let us know about that. But of course, the 347 was leading this class earlier today at one point since we went off air, but as a team let us know there was a collision. I think Trent was driving at the time, and yeah, you can just see the scars left from that collision. Quite a lot of damage on the front end. Be interesting to find out if it's actually affecting the performance of that car or not.
I'm sure it will be, and you know, looking back through the notes as well, it's been a very clean race by the look of it. You know, obviously with only 14 cars and a couple of retirements, you know, less traffic to deal with, but from what I can see here, we've only had one pit lane penalty, and that was for Warren Pickering. He was black flagged for contact with the 347, so that could explain where some of the damage has come from for Trent and the boys there in the Fusion car. But yeah, Warren received a black flag. That was back on lap 77, so that was a matter of hours ago now.
Yeah, I wonder if that was the collision that the 347 had. I wouldn't be surprised if he's black flagged for barging. That could be it, but I guess only the team can really confirm that with us. And we're lucky enough we've got Trent in the chat room at the moment, and he's updating us. And he was saying also later on in the day the 348 had to pit with damage, and yeah. So he reckons they're sandbagging at the moment. They can run 10 seconds quicker than what they are at the moment. So we'll see. He reckons he's given the 385 a sporting chance. So we'll see. I think there's a bit of trash talk going on in the old chat room today.
Yes, always. You never want to give too much away from your fellow competitors, and yeah, another thing. more important to competitors as well is incident limit, as I think we have a 90 incident cap for this race. So there's a few teams that have burned a few. So there is one car very close to that cap already, and we're only just over halfway through this race.
Yes, that'll be interesting to see how they go. I wouldn't be expecting any retirements, but they proved me wrong. We've already had 2. We had 18 starters here today, folks. We're down to 16. Got 4 on the lead lap, and we can see Class B leader at the moment. That's Matt Morris in the Pro Force Racing Ferrari. And as we were saying earlier, we'll get a bit of a live gap here for you. So 17 seconds he's got now, so a fairly comfortable lead, but I think Class B is proving the most competitive at the moment. Yeah,
it is. And, as I said, we've got a lot of new entries into Class B for this race, so it's been very good. I think Tim Ballinger and Darren Connors are doing a very good job there to sit P3. It's the first outing for that car in this series, so those guys are doing a very good job there, holding on to a podium position, and I think they're just a lap down now from the leader, but doing a very good job there in 3rd.
Yeah, they certainly are. I think that car started in 5th, and so they've gained 2 positions as this race has gone on. 3 hours 42 minutes remaining here. As I get a frog in my throat. We're just riding here with Matt Morris, the leader of the GTE class, and I'll tell you what, the Ferrari looks like a nice car, doesn't it?
Oh, it's a beautiful car to drive. It's my pick over the 2 GTEs. I kind of feel that the Ford sounds like a bit of a tractor at times, but it is tipped that the Ferrari is the easier of the cars to set up and drive. So it is good to see some Fords out there, and obviously one in 2nd position. But yeah, that Ferrari is amazing, and iRacing have done very good to produce 2 stunning cars like they have. Very professional outfit.
Yeah, I reckon the Ford, it sounds like a fly with the cold. That's probably my impression of it.
Yeah, that's right.
You're probably wondering what a fly with the cold is, aren't you?
I was going to say, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think I've ever come across one.
Well, that's what they sound like if you do come across one.
Good to know.
So, yeah, unfortunately, folks, there's not much more to report on at this point, really, is there? We can see Darren Connors, a TD Racing entry. That's a beautifully presented car. And as you were saying, 3rd position, Tim Ballinger in it earlier. And, yeah, good outing. I think this is their first outing in this car. Well, there's quite a few teams that are the first outing in it. But one team we don't have out here is the Laser Racing entry. I don't think they're out in Class B today.
No, I think they're missing as well. There's a couple of teams missing that we see here regularly. Obviously, we spoke about in the earlier broadcast the Audi of the Selby.com.au car with Nathan Apatz and his team. They're missing. They had some stuff come up and they couldn't make it for this round, so it's a shame for them after winning last round in Twin Ring. But yep, the laser car's missing. We're also missing Swift Racing. Usually have a team here with a GT3 car. So yeah, there are a car, and also Misfit Motorsports missing from Class A this week. So a few guys out. I know it is a Scops weekend, so that could be a reason why some guys are missing. But yeah, not sure.
Yeah, it could be a Scops. I think the last round we had was on a Scops weekend as well. So that could be keeping some teams out. I know the Selby team, their drivers had other commitments and they couldn't get enough to field that car, so they've parked it, which is a shame. And of course Selby is the series sponsor here, and we always like announcing them. We've got Gamer Gloves, Go Gamer Gloves as well, is the other series sponsor of this series. So it's great to have both of those sponsors on board. And Selby.com.au, folks, if you're into your audio visual gear, and they've got some sim racing gear. Go and check them out, selby.com.au, and of course Go Gamer gloves. If you're a gamer, go and check those gamer gloves out because they look pretty neat.
Yeah, that's right. One thing I was just checking out, the old safety car. The driver in the safety car looks like he's asleep from a real lack of use today. Besides leading us off at the start, the safety car has not been called into action yet today. So 4 hours and 30 minutes into this race, and no safety car yet. So yeah, that's been a positive for this, and it looks like he's having a bit of a snooze there.
Yeah, he was eating an ice cream earlier, so he's probably got his feet up, having a bit of a sleep. I don't think we're going to see the safety car out at all, but then again, I could be wrong. So the other thing, folks, if you haven't subscribed to Twitch TV /RRTV Live, of course we're broadcasting there. You can go and check that out, and of course Twitter. I send out posts when we're broadcasting on Twitter, and you'll also be able to use that to keep in touch with us if you use a hashtag RRTV Live.
So I was just looking at some telemetry and looking at how pit stops are going at the moment. So looking at it over the hours going so far, that the leaders have all made 4 stops except for the Fusion Sim Racing, who made a unscheduled pit stop on lap 1. They've made 5. Class B have all made 3 stops, and Class C have also all made 3 stops. And just looking through some of the stints going on here, I think some of the GTE class guys won't be far away. I'm tipping the ARM Racing car from 2nd position to pit very shortly. They've done 31 laps on this stint, and by looking at some averages, it's about a 35 lap stint on fuel, so I don't think it'll be too long. The guys behind them with Matt Morris, and he's done 27 laps on this stint, and also Darren Connors has done 24 laps, so I don't think it'll be too long until we see a couple of those GTE guys, as we see Frank Rosenbauer come in from position 6 now.
Yeah, so keep an eye on this pit stop and see how long it actually takes them. I know the Class A cars, they were averaging between 44 seconds up to 47.7 seconds was the slowest. Aaron Lee in the 102 is looks like off sequence because that car hasn't pitted yet, so Ray Mayer is jumping into this car now, and no doubt they'll be throwing a fresh set of boots on it, filling her up and sending him out again.
Yeah, so this will be Ray's first stint in the car today, so it'll be very much for him. He's got to go out there and concentrate and get into a race rhythm pretty quickly here, so it's going to be a tough ask for him. It's always tough to come into a race that's already running and getting settled and finding your feet early, but you know, these guys have all done it before during this series, so I'm sure he'll be sweet.
Yeah, and he's still sitting in there. We'll bring up the live pit stop information here, folks, and have a look. So bring that up. No, he's gone. So proves a liar out of me.
65 seconds there for the stop. So that's definitely a full tank of fuel and 4 tyres.
Yeah, so quite a big, long stop, but I guess with these cars, like the GT3s, they probably have to change the tyres before they can fill these cars up. I'm assuming that's the same rule.
Yeah, so mostly you'll come in and stop in your pit box, the car will be filled, and then as soon as the hose is taken out of the car, it'll go up on the jacks and the 4 tyres will be changed one at a time, so that's why it's endurance rules, same as the World Endurance Championship in real life, so it'll be 2 guys there running around to all 4 corners of the car there, whipping the tyres off and putting the new ones on.
Yeah, and you never know, one day we might get those animations, which would be pretty neat, but because I know the old NASCAR games, I think they had some sort of animation, maybe they didn't, just the sound effects.
Yeah, some of them did. I think NASCAR Heat and all that's sort of out now, sort of got something going on there, but look, you know, this is just developing every year, and it's amazing what we've got now and the graphics, and that you can have, you know, in some cases 60 cars on a track from people all around the world, with up to 4 people driving one car, and yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, Friday night our telecast had 60 V8 supercars in it, racing around Okayama, and yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I did tune into that. It was a pretty action-packed race there, and a few random safety cars and a few dramas with guys getting caught out there, and that. It was quite an interesting race there at the AOSC.
Yeah, it definitely was. It's quite interesting in the comm box as well, because my poor old computer couldn't keep up. We crashed twice, and the worst time was we crashed just before the start of the race, but we managed to get it up, and they were under safety car on about lap 3. So yeah, it takes a lot of resources when you've got 60 cars on the circuit, and no doubt a few of the drivers would have felt it as well.
Yeah, so we've got a drama here. Ray Mayer has gone out on his outlap, has gone pretty slowly on that outlap, and has now almost struggled to bring it into pit entry. I didn't see any damage, I didn't see him have an off, so not sure, but he's back in pit lane again, so this is definitely an unscheduled pit stop for him.
Yeah, well, sometimes what can happen is the pit limiter can be stuck on, but they put it back up on the jacks at the moment. We'll see if he jumps out and the other driver jumps back in again, but this is going to be very costly for this car, and yeah, quite a bit of a drama for Arm Racing 2 at the moment.
Yeah, so we also see Redback Racing 102 car. It's come in from 3rd position with Aaron Lee at the wheel. It's come in for its scheduled pit stop after 32 laps on that stint of tyres and fuel. Yeah,
we can see at the moment, see if he jumps out. He's been sitting in there for 9.7 seconds at the moment. Now you can see the timer kicking off there, folks, 19.75 seconds roughly. And we'll see what his total time is when he comes out. But Ray Mayer at the moment, he's still sitting in there, and Aaron Lee comes out now. 32.7 seconds was that stop. Very fast stop compared to the others there, Scott.
Yeah, it looks like he's just refueled that car and left the tyres on it. It's going to go around for another 32 laps on that stint. Usually the HPDs, pretty much all the time, they usually double stint tyres, and you know, in some cases you can triple stint. Looking at the track temperature of 34 degrees, you know, it's warm, but it's not crazy. Sometimes we can see temperatures up around the mid to high 40s, so it's not too bad of a track temp to minimum double stint, almost triple stint.
Yeah, we can see now Ray Mayer coming back out. He actually started on his way out and then pulled up again, so they may be having some hardware issues. He did have an off track when he did come out, and we're going to have a look at that, but once again that car's just not performing. It's going very, very slow again. So we're riding with him at the moment, see if we can hear what's going on with that car. He's got no acceleration.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going quicker than the pit limiter. I think he was just either got a hardware issue, or he was just letting the Fusion guy go, because he's starting to pick up some speed now as he heads into the left right here, before we head down to the back hairpin. But I think he did add a drama. Maybe it could have been the pit limiter was stuck on or something like that, but he seems to be okay. I think he's just going to try and get into a rhythm here.
Yeah, we'll go back and have a look at the replay to see if this sheds any light on the off track, because this was his outlap, folks. And just trying. Oh, that car sounds shocking.
He's just had an off there at the hairpin, and he's now crawling again. So, not entirely sure what's going on with Ray. Whether it could be steering wheel or something like that. But he's picking up speed once again.
Yeah, well, on the outlap, his pit limiter was stuck on. We can hear it. We're driving in the car with him on the replay, and you can just hear it as he accelerates it and kicks in. So, yeah, that's a bit of a bug that happens in iRacing. But we're back to live pictures now, folks, and we can see him out there. Still, to me, looks like he's circulating fairly slowly, so I think you're right, Scott. I think he might be having some sort of hardware issue.
Yeah, either that or he's just struggling to get comfortable with the car, because he has run a wide a fair bit and he's back in the pit lane now. So whatever the issue is with Ray, it hasn't fixed itself, and this could spell dramas for the arm racing car, the number 2 car there, and could end their day.
Definitely, if their co-driver's not around to jump back into that car. But even if they can jump in, Ray's going to have to try to repair his hardware if that's the problem, come back out. Now that car was in the pits last time for 81 seconds, and I'd say he's going to be in there for a fair bit of time as he has a look at what is affecting that car.
Yeah, it's not good at all. But we should see the sister car, Luke Swinkles. He should be looking for a scheduled pit stop any time now. So we should see a couple of these cars coming shortly, followed closely by the HPDs. We don't think they'll be too far behind as well.
Yeah, no, they'll be coming in and stopping. One of the people in the chat room was saying racing's in the pits 3 laps in a row. And yeah, it looks like they're struggling with some hardware issues big time at the moment. Just doesn't sound like he's got any acceleration whatsoever. But hopefully they'll get that working and back out there. But the leader at the moment is still Pro Force Racing Ferrari, and you can see them now coming up on the back of the TD Racing entry, and Ross Hughes driving that car now. I think that Darren Connors is in that car. He is sitting in 3rd, so it looks like they're going to get another lap up on their opposition, and that's Pro Force Racing I'm talking about.
Yeah, so that'll put Darren a lap down, so he's actually currently on the lead lap as long as he stays ahead of Matt there. So a minute and 43 behind. It's about a minute 50 lap around here, so yeah, that'll put them a lap down. So Darren will be hoping somehow that they can keep ahead of Matt, but I think it'll be a done deal pretty shortly.
Yeah, I think so. We're just riding with Matt now as he's just slowly moving forwards under brakes. He closes in quite a bit under brakes on the final corner. Bit of an update, folks. The arm racing entry with Ray May behind the wheel is still in the pits. It's been in there now for 125 seconds and counting. So before that they were in for a good 76 seconds. So I'm not sure if we're going to see that car again today.
Looks like he's just about to leave pit lane now.
Yeah, he's just left pit lane as we speak. So we'll see if we can get that car back up to speed. I tell you what, when you have these hardware issues, it's pretty heartbreaking, isn't it? But I guess it's the same thing as having an electrical issue or something going wrong with the car in these enduros, because it really can put a lot of strain on your hardware and your racing gear.
Yeah, you know, it is, and it's more like you feel like you're letting your team down. You know, you let your other guys that are just driving the car down. You know, and you know, poor old Frank's done, you know, over 4 hours in that car. He's jumped out now for Ray to jump in and do a few stints, and either Frank's going to have to get back in the car, or you know, they're going to have to retire it. So unless Ray can fix it. So you know, it's disappointing. It's exactly the same as, you know, going out there and having an accident after a good solid start. But it's motorsport. It's just, you know, it's a bit of a different when you talk about e-sport. You know, but it happens.
Yeah, and I'm sure in other esports it probably happens. They probably have joystick and keyboard errors, or their computers crashing and all that. And it's probably like that in just about any sort of esport. We know hardware can be unpredictable at times. It's interesting also to see where the circuit's starting to pick up dirt, and you can just see it offline as we were just going up the back part of that circuit. So yeah, it's starting to dirty up and the rubber's starting to lay down. It looks like Ray may have fixed it because he's going around once more to complete another lap, but he's now 2 laps down on the next car, which is Andrew Gaines. So that's been very costly for this entry.
Yep, as we see Luke Swinkles bring that first of the arm racing cars in. So 38 laps in on that fuel and tyres there. So it's a pretty good effort from him. That's pretty good fuel economy. So they've brought that car in now for their 4th pit stop.
Yeah, well, we can see that car coming in now. We'll see if Luke jumps out and see how long this stop is. And he's stopping right in front of the cameraman, aren't we lucky?
Yeah, so you're looking at around, if you see about a 40-second stop, that's usually pretty much just fuel only, and if it gets around the minute 5 mark or 65-second mark, and they've definitely taken tyres as well, as Luke's jumped out of that car and Matthew Dingham's jumped in, so it's going to be a change of driver as well for the number 240.
Yeah, and we're still waiting for the 285 to make its way to the pit lane for their stop as well. So just see, we can see at the moment the crew servicing Matthew Dignam's car, and we don't want to sit here just watching a pit stop. That's fairly boring, so we'll have a look at Aaron Osborne at the moment in the HPD TD 137 entry, second outright and second in Class A. They are 30 seconds off the lead, and there's only 3 on the lead lap now, and the third one is David Baxter for Redback Racing Team Red, 74 seconds down from second, or from the lead, sorry.
So Matthew's now just left pit lane. It was a 63-second stop for him, so they've definitely taken on tyres as well as fuel. He's come out pretty much right in front of the leader, Matt Morris, so Matt could put him a lap down here, so that'll put Matt as the sole GTE on the lead lap, but we're definitely sure that Matt's going to have to pit either this lap or in the next 2.
Yeah, so the ARM Racing team probably knows even if they do go a lap down, they're going to get it back as soon as the Proforce Racing entry comes in. But I tell you what, Matt Dingham, he's coming out in the middle of traffic, hasn't he?
Yeah, he had a HPD round up, all 3 of them there going into turn 1, and then coming through the Mercedes circuit there, he's also got on the back of Ross Rizzo, I think it is, in the 385, so he'll be trying to work past Ross, and Ross is probably like not going to give it to him too easy, seeing he's got the team leader car right behind him.
Yeah, exactly right. It's now you can see he's moving over to let him through, so that's good sportsmanship there.
Yeah, no, there's definitely no one out here with sort of any qualms like that, but they all do a pretty good job of getting offline, and Ross knows that he's running his own race and his races between the 2 Fusion cars, so he wouldn't want to be getting caught up in any of these guys' dramas.
No, definitely not. We can see we're riding with Darren Connors now in the TD 237 entry, sitting up behind the ARM Racing entry, and he's going around for another lap. But Matt Morris is still staying out there, I think.
Yeah, so he's just done 36 laps now, so 36 laps on that stint. So he, ARM did 38, so they'll be looking at around the same mark. I know a lot of guys sort of take. There's sort of 2 ways you can do it. A lot of guys come in with about 3 or 4 laps left in the tank just in case of a safety car, because obviously the pits are closed while that happens. But with the less numbers on the grid and also the unlikelihood of a safety car at this track, I wouldn't be surprised if people are pushing it to the tank's nearly empty.
Yeah, he's getting some good mileage out of it though, isn't he?
Yeah, no, the guys are doing really good. So I'm not exactly sure what it is here, whether it's 100 litres for the tank or 120, but I'm guessing there's somewhere in the market around that 3.5 litres per lap or something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to see if any of the teams will actually give them numbers. I know if we ask Mr. Thomas, he'll probably say, oh, we can do this on a can of beer per lap.
Yeah, 100 mil. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's a 120 litre tank for these cars, and that's 3.15 litres a lap for 38 laps. So yeah, doing pretty well there.
Yeah, you can just see now as they're coming onto this part of the circuit, there's rocks flying up everywhere. That part of the circuit's really dirty. They might have to employ a street cleaner to go out there and start sweeping it down.
Yeah, as we can see, you know, the boys have stayed out there again. So Matt's going again for another lap. So that'll be 37 done now. So I expect him very shortly to fly into pit lane.
Yeah, I reckon next lap he'll be coming in. I'm going to stake my reputation on it. What about you?
Well, yeah, I'd imagine it'd be this lap. So I've been watching him the last 2 laps thinking he was going to come in. So yeah, I think it'll be probably this lap. But they're probably listening, or they've probably got someone listening, and they're probably going to just go one more if they can, just to prove us wrong. Oh,
no doubt, no doubt. If Sean's listening, no doubt he'll tell them all to stay out until they've done another lap just to prove us all wrong. But we'll see. Sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes you just have to bring it in.
Yeah, that's right. So just focusing back on our leader, he's still holding a fairly good gap there. Josh Burden in the 1:45, still a 30-second gap over the TDR of Aaron Osborne. But that gap has just blown out a little bit back to David Baxter. It's out to 1:15 now. It was around a minute when we looked about 15 minutes ago. So they've lost a little bit of time there as well. But we shouldn't be too far from seeing these front 3 jump into the pits. I'm tipping Aaron and David to sort of hit pit lane first within probably another 3 or 4 or 5 laps, and then about a couple of laps later you will see the Fusion car come in after they had that pit stop on lap 2.
Yeah, and of course Aaron Lee in the 102, they're off sequence at the moment for whatever reason that is. So they'll stay out now. Matt Morris is coming in. He did a late entry, but yeah, I think they were thinking about doing another lap, but there's probably not enough fuel in the tank to make it.
Yeah, and as I predicted, Aaron's come in as well from 2nd position in the 137, so they're in as well.
Yeah, so one of the viewers, Ben Wilkinson, has let us know that the Ferrari does 2.3 litres per lap in fuel.
Okay, no worries.
Right? Sounds pretty thirsty.
2.3 litres. That sounds. Yeah, I don't know. Probably right. I haven't run IMSA this week. The official IMSA championship has been at this track this week, so I haven't had a chance to run it. I've been predominantly focusing on official V8 stuff. So as we can see, David's also bought in the Redback Racing red car, so they're getting about 32 laps out of a tank, the HPDs, compared to about 38 for the GTEs.
And we can see also the 223s come in. Darren Bull's jumped into that car and they're taking service as well. And the car we're looking at, we have Matthew Patrick Smith jumping into the 285. So far 35 seconds. It normally around about a minute, I think, the last ones did. And he's just coming out now, 62.1 seconds.
Yeah, so that's full fuel and tyres as well for Matt Patrick Smith, and pretty much 1 second quicker than the arm racing guys, so pretty even stops there.
Yeah, and he's pretty much come out in clear traffic there, so a nice re-entry. The team's inserted in the circuit so he can continue hot lapping. But folks, it's nearly the end of our mid-race update. We'll just take you through the results so far so you can see where your favourite drivers are. So at the moment Josh Burden for Fusion Sim Racing 145 is leading the Class A and outright lead. Then we've got Aaron Osborne, TD Racing 137 in second. David Baxter for Redback Racing Team Red is in third, followed by Aaron Lee in fourth for Redback Racing Team Black. And then we've got Team VPR in fifth. Sixth is LMTI, the 129. And then looking at Class B, we've got Matthew Patrick Smith just jumped in the car for Pro Force Racing Ferrari, and they're leading Class B, followed by Matthew Dignam in the arm racing entry, the number 240 in second. Darren Connors 2 is in third for TD Racing 237. Then we've got Darren Bull in the Lone Wolf Sim Races 223 entry, followed by Eric Kaluga in 11th outright. For Razorback Races 2, Sean Thompson now is the 385 leading Class C for Proforce Racing GTI. Then we have Trent Thomas in second for Class C, Fusion Sim Racing 347, and then third in Class C is Scott Stevens for Fusion Sim Racing 348. At the moment, the Arm Racing 2 car there, 5 laps down and a couple of laps down from their leader in Class B, and that's Ray Mayer behind the wheel of the 241. And as we were saying, they've had some sort of hardware issue which has cost them a couple of laps. Then we've got Cohen Attard, Razorback Races 1, and I'm not sure if they are still circulating the 120. I don't think
that's the first of our retirees.
First of our retirees. Blake Nex also parked the ERT car again and left the server, and of course he's just out there circulating, having a bit of fun. Then Ryan Bodley, Extreme Racing 211, our first retirement today. So that's the way it is at the moment, folks.
Yeah, and very interesting to see that, just quickly before we go, that the Proforce car, it just pitted last lap, so that's why it handed over to Sean Thompson. So 38 laps as well, so matching the GTE in regards to fuel mileage, which is probably a little bit surprising, seeing the GTEs are quicker. You'd think maybe they might burn a little bit more fuel, but obviously not.
Yeah, well, the Mercedes has that big V8 in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So very even there in regards to fuel mileage for both those GTE and GT3 cars.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I would expect them, as you're saying, the GTEs to be a bit more thirsty, but it'd be interesting to see the Audi out here to see what sort of fuel mileage it could get. And also would have been interesting to see how it competed against the Mercedes, but it's not to be. It's all the Mercedes 1, 2, 3 at the moment. It's just a matter of which order they're going to finish in.
Yeah, that's right. I think we've spoken about this previously, just how different those cars are to set up, the Mercedes through the Audi, and I suppose a lot of people in the iRacing world feel that the Audi's probably a bit disadvantaged in regards to how easy it is to set up with that mid-engine, and lacks a bit of front grip and can get a bit taily sometimes trying to chase a bit of turn. So the Mercedes, that big engine sitting in the front of that baby, it's it's pretty heavy there at the front, so they find it holds a bit of front grip there quite easily.
Yeah, so folks, we are, as we can see, the race leader now, Josh Burden, is coming in to take his stop. But as I was going to say, folks, we're going to go off air now. That's your mid-race update. Come back and join us, though, 6 o'clock tonight for the last hour of this race, and then possibly some post-race interviews after that. But hopefully you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon, and you've enjoyed this mid-race update. As always, Scott, thanks, mate, for jumping in with me and helping me with this telecast today.
Yeah, not a problem, Bernie. Thanks for having me in the commentary box. Yeah, it's 4 hours and 52 minutes gone, so just over 3 hours to go, and yeah, hopefully we can see it tighten up a bit in the latter stages.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see that, and can just see the nice helicopter in the background. But until tonight, folks, we're going to go and have another break, and we'll see you back here 6 PM tonight on RRTV.